Good morning. And happy Mother's Day. There's a wonderful saying that said, God could not be everywhere, so she created mothers. There are more phone calls on this day than any other day of the year, including Valentine's and New Year's. So I'm going to call my mom a little bit later. But on this day, we honor the loving souls that brought us into this world, and we give thanks for the love that our mother's been and for the presence of a mother in our lives. And if our mother is not still with us, we can still keep her alive by honoring the memories of her. And whether it's your birth mom or someone else that's been a mother figure to you, there's probably someone in your life that you can think of and you can honor and celebrate on this holiday. I love seeing the grandmothers and the great-grandmothers in the room because when I was a little girl, for a little while, I had a lot of mother energy. I had my mom, and then I had little mom. She was my grandmother, and then I had big mom. She was my great-grandmother. And so I had a little period of time there where I was really doted on. And my great-grandmother, though, was that unconditional love. She really, really let me know that this world was a kind and loving place. She would always say I was the apple of her eye. And I used to play her piano in her basement when I was like 7 years old, and she would come downstairs and say, "You are going to be as great as Liberace." She had a thing for Liberace. But that motherly quality of believing in us and seeing our greatest possibility and loving us unconditionally is so important. It's so important, and especially when we're these young, vulnerable little beings, so important to know that this world is a loving world, that this world is a kind world, that there's goodness here in this world. There's a story of a painter who said, "My mother said, if you are a soldier, you're going to become a general. If you are a monk, you'll turn out to be the Pope." Well, I became a painter, and I wound up as Picasso. So I love the story of Picasso and how his mother was such, she believed in him. She believed in his greatness and never wavered on that. And mothers really are expressing the unconditional love that Spirit is. They're expressing that unlimited love and that unconditional love that Spirit is. It comes through the mother figure in our lives. And mothering is not an easy thing. You know, if it was an easy thing, would it have started with something called labor? Right? That gives you an idea of how it's going to go. And for the younger mothers among us, if you're thinking about becoming a mother, you might want clues on how to know whether you're ready. I did some research, and I found some good advice. Smear peanut butter on the sofa and curtains. Place a fish stick behind the couch and leave it there all summer. If that doesn't bother you, you know you're ready. And a young mother shared with me some things she's learned from her children, that a 3-year-old's voice is louder than 200 adults in a crowded restaurant, that you should not throw baseballs up when the ceiling fan is on, and that a ceiling fan can hit a baseball a long way, and that cats throw up twice their body weight when dizzy. Oh my goodness, something I didn't need to know. So being a mom is not a small task. We know that. It's not a small task. And the mother-child relationship is a complicated one. It's a complex one. I know for my mom, back in her day, there were no manuals. And, you know, even with all the manuals we have today, who has time to read a manual, right? A young mother will say, yeah, right, read a manual. I think I'll get some sleep. But my mom was a single mom, and she was an amazing mom, and she worked, and she had rental property, and she raised 3 kids, and I just honor her so much. I saw a cartoon the other day that said where a psychologist was talking to a female patient, and he said to her, "Now let's see, you spend 50% of your time on your job, 50% of your energy on your husband, and 50% on your children. I think I see your problem." You know, the choice to become a mother is really a choice to become one of the greatest spiritual teachers. And we grow at the same time, don't we? That we are learning to be a mother and mothering, we are growing ourselves. For me, two of the most powerful teachers in my life have been my mom, and then also the hugging saint, Alma. Has anybody heard of her? Mata Amritanandamayi. She has been a great teacher for me, a kind of divine mother for me. And I'd like to share with you a quote from her, because it really talks about how we can move into universal motherhood. She says, anyone, man or woman, who has the courage to overcome the limitations of the mind can attain the state of universal motherhood. The love of awakened motherhood is a love and compassion felt not only towards one's children, but towards all people, animals, and things. A love extended to nature, to all beings. To someone in which true motherhood has awakened, all creatures are her children. All creatures are her children. This love, this motherhood is divine love, and that is God. That is God. Now, my mom also was a powerful spiritual teacher in my life. And I remember in the early days comparing my mom to the other moms on the block, thinking that she wasn't quite the ideal mom. And even in my college days, I got a degree in psychology to understand her more, to understand our complicated relationship. And even then, I still held a good bit of judgment, you know, towards her and towards her imperfections. But I'll tell you what, years and years of spiritual practice and really looking deeply and really growing spiritually have brought me to a place where I feel total acceptance for her. I just completely accept her as she is. I love her as she is. I allow her to be who she is. And I just feel our relationship has come to such a beautiful and powerful place. And for me, growing in acceptance and forgiveness and understanding and loving her without conditions has been great spiritual growth for me. Sometimes the yearning for a more perfect love can grow us, can move us towards God, can move us towards spirit more, that yearning for a more perfect love. And, you know, when we long to know unconditional love that our Creator is, we can discover a love that's always here. We can discover a love that is our true nature, that is who we really are. There's a beautiful poem that I found by Paramahansa Yogananda, another wonderful Indian saint, who talks about how his mom and his mother's love and the loss of her turned him towards the Divine Mother and towards a spiritual awakening. So let me share it with you. I sought those two black eyes everywhere. When my teacher or my brother rebuked me or were unkind, I sought help every day in the sweetness of those two black eyes. In the harbor of those black eyes, I sought refuge. She died. I cried and I sought in the stars and the darkness of the night for those two black eyes, but I found them not. Many other black eyes shone upon my childhood, but they were not those two black eyes which I had loved. In the stillness of the forest and the darkness of the night, I used to watch under those stars, looking for those two angelic, unapproachable black eyes. But I found them not. Now that my mind is awakened, I see those two black eyes everywhere. I see those two black eyes everywhere. In the eyes of the Divine Mother, I have found my own mother. In the love of the Divine Mother, I have found my mother's love. That beautiful. To see that love everywhere, to see it in the flowers and the sunrises and the singing birds, and feel that love everywhere. Spirit is pure, unconditional love and intelligence. And the quality of unconditional love is a part of every one of us. It's a part of every one of us. We have seeds within us. We have the qualities of compassion and mercy and kindness, and we have the capacity to forgive. And we have the capacity to be generous of heart. And it is these qualities of universal motherhood that our world is crying for, that our world is aching for. These qualities of compassion and forgiveness and kindness and generosity of heart. So on this auspicious occasion, this day of honoring the mother, I would like to suggest that we celebrate and consider deepening in these qualities of the universal mother. Both men and women have these qualities equally. So I'd like to look at three in particular, three qualities that I think are most important, and they are forgiveness, gratitude, and unconditional love. So let's look at forgiveness. There's a beautiful quote by the theologian Lewis Smedes that says, "Forgiveness does not erase the bitter past. A healed memory is not a deleted memory. Instead, forgiving what we cannot forget creates a new way to remember. A new way to remember. We change the memory of our past into a hope for our future." So as we grow in our understanding, we come to see that most often people that cause suffering are suffering. Would you agree with that? People that cause suffering are suffering. And that can grow our compassion. That can be the beginning of forgiveness and that understanding. And it's so important that we include ourselves in forgiveness. You know, some of us, beat ourselves up for not having been the perfect parent. So this is a good time, this is a good day to forgive ourselves and know we did the best we could with what we had and what we understood. And it's also a time we can forgive our parents, and we can be generous of our hearts, and we can forgive the suffering that created suffering. There's another wonderful quote from the Buddhist teacher Jack Kornfield about forgiveness. He's a wonderful teacher on forgiveness. He has a great a book called The Art of Loving Kindness, Forgiveness, and Peace. That is so powerful. But he says, forgiveness is not putting anyone out of your heart, even those who are acting out of deep ignorance or out of confusion and pain. Powerful, powerful teaching. So let us cultivate this quality, embody this quality, maybe just a little more on this day. Next, let's consider the quality of gratitude. I have a lot of mother songs, and I couldn't decide what to sing, but I do have a song I wrote my mom years ago called Gratitude. And it's really the right word for the song, because I feel so grateful for her as a mother, even the challenges. I mean, there's a lot of love, and I'm grateful for that, but even the challenges, because it really has grown me and refined me. There's a beautiful teaching from the Dalai Lama on gratitude. He says, "Every day, think as you wake up. Today, I am fortunate to have woken up." Is that a word, woken up? I am alive. I have a precious human life. I'm going to use all my energies to develop myself, to expand my heart out to others, and to achieve enlightenment for the benefit of all beings. Beautiful. We can develop a habit of gratitude that will continually keep our hearts open. And it actually rewires the brain. If you want to rewire your brain and you want to shift out of a negative mood, shift your attention to something you're grateful for. Shift your attention to the things that you're grateful for. It immediately changes your mood. So finally, we look at the quality of unconditional love. And it's been said by many. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross said that at the end of life, what really mattered is how much love we were able to give and receive. How much love we were able to give and receive. And Amma says a very similar thing. She says, in this universe, it is love that binds everything together. Love is the very foundation, beauty, and fulfillment of life. She also says that love is the strand and we are the pearls. And it is love that unites us. It's love that melts the seeming differences, and love that melts the imaginary boundaries between us. And love is full of a lot of qualities. It's full of patience, understanding, and compassion. And so our spiritual journey is again and again about opening our heart and learning to live this life with an open heart. And it's not easy, especially if you watch the news, right? Does that open your heart? Yeah, it can be really challenging to keep our hearts open. And so when they close down, we open them again. I've got an album called Return to Love, and that's what it's about. It's about returning and choosing love again, and choosing love again, and choosing love again and again. I had a spiritual awakening 25 years ago or so that really dramatically changed my life. And in the experience, I experienced a stillness like no stillness I had ever known could be possible. And I experienced a love that was so immense. I didn't know there could be so much love. It's like you take all the love you've ever felt in your life and put it in a pile and multiply it by 1 billion. And it was just this immensity of love, and I felt gone into it. And it changed my life dramatically, forever. And what I can say and what I know is that love is who we are. Love is who we are. It is who we truly are. And it is love that brought everything into being. So I'd like to leave you with a verse from one of the songs I wrote right after that experience. And it's Mother's Song, which I'm going to also sing for you. I've sung it a few times here before. But the words are, "Oh, my love, don't cry. I'm with you here inside, and I love you. I'm with you all the way. Oh, my love, close your eyes, rest a while, and realize you are so very loved all the time. I hold you here in my heart. It's vast as an ocean. Sleeping child, don't dream we're apart. Dream your eyes are open. Open your eyes." So may we on this precious day honor our mothers, our grandmothers, our great-grandmothers, all the mother figures in our lives, all the people that love us and continue to love us. May we honor them, and may we also commit to more embodying this divine feminine, this universal mother energy. And hold these energies of forgiveness and gratitude and love for ourselves and for our world. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you.